doing fine. I'm doing fine. A little bit anxious, which is not normal, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
where should I start?
Our last client ran over a little bit. We just got out with her and apologize for being late for you.
No, no problem at all. I was just waiting.
Okay. So yeah,
So yeah.
what would you like to address today?
Yeah, I was like, I wrote about it. So let me see. I should just start. So pretty much, well, it all started like when I was pretty young.
Mm.
I always felt like, I don't know, I didn't belong, something like that. I never had that many friends and all that. And my way to manage that was like at school, I started smoking a lot of weed because everybody was doing it, so I needed to like get in the group. So yeah, I started doing that, and then at the when I was 18, yeah, I I became all alone by myself. I left home and all that. Yeah, hardcore shit for me. So it's been like that since then. So at 20, when I was 20, I'm 24 now. When I was 20, I started using heroin, believe it or not. Just it was my way to not feel. It's the best way I have to describe it.
Yeah.
Because I always felt all that. Because like I feel too much. Like I always felt that. Like I feel too much. It's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, then I stopped doing that when I was 21. It just lasted 1 year, and actually it was pretty easy to quit, which I don't know. Normally it's not like that. And then it was when I started like researching all the things about soul contracts and all that. Most recently was when I started seeing your videos, and you really helped me a lot, and you too, Rich, researching about that. So thank you for it. And yeah, yeah. It's pretty much is right now. I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel I didn't feel like this for a long time. Like I'm really anxious. It's really weird. Also, a weird thing I have. It's like almost constantly. I feel like goosebumps, but it's constant. Like I go to the street and I have like goosebumps all over my skin. My skin hair is all like spiked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. And the weird thing is like the goosebumps. It comes like from the top of my head to the back of my spine, but it's heavier over here, and then it goes straight back to my spine. Yeah. And now
does it feel uncomfortable or kind of pleasant or what?
no, mm, sometimes it's pleasant, but it mainly isn't. I learn to deal with it. Basically,
Mm.
it's like I'm always feeling it. I learn to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been like a really energetic guy. I try a lot always to motivate people, be happy and all that. But yeah, that feeling, it's like bringing me down a bit. I don't know how to explain it. And now most recently with this coronavirus thing, um, like 1 month, 2 months ago, I started like feeling this chest pain, like a pressure like this, precisely over here. And yeah, I went to the doctor most recently because I was like getting scared. Is it happening something? Am I sick or so? And yeah, I went to the doctor. They made like a ton of tests. And yeah, they pretty much say like I'm a totally healthy guy. And yeah, they gave me like a bunch of painkillers. I took them like for 1 day. It didn't do nothing. And yeah, I pretty much stopped doing it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I've also, just one more thing. I've also, when I started researching the soul contracts and all that, um, I think, well, I tried to remove them. I don't know if I made it successfully, but I did try to do that. So, yeah,
Good.
it's pretty much shit. Yeah. Oh, the star seed thing. Most recently, yeah, it was when I was, I don't know how I went there, but I went there and I saw a video called the Pleading Message,
Hmm.
something like that. It was so weird because I was seeing that and I cried like, I don't know how to explain, like cried like a river. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah, pretty much it. Sorry. Yeah.
Wow. Well, no, that's good. It's a touching message. You know, it probably obviously you have some history that has something to do with that sort of thing. So that's good.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's also it's funny because I have an uncle, and I remember when I was really young. I remember just now I see it because I remember seeing him like talking about past lives and all that,
Hmm.
like outside body experience. But I never understood like that. But it's weird, like it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Now,
So yeah.
did your anxiety and stuff just before the session started? Did that
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
after you realized, after we were late and you were concerned and then it triggered, or was it before the session started?
It was before, like 1 hour and a half before.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like this for like a long time, like a
Sure.
long time. Oh, also, I said I started smoking, but I stopped smoking, which is I smoked like all my life, and now when I started like trying to get out of body and all of that, I stopped smoking like that. And it's weird because I stopped smoking for 4 days, and then I get like, oh, I need to smoke one. And when I smoke it, I started to have like a tachycardia. It's
Mm.
called like that. Yeah, I need to call like an ambulance and all that. I was like, whoa. So yeah, and right now I can't even smoke. Yeah,
Yeah. Now,
it's
when you say
weird.
smoke, are you referring to weed or are you talking about cigarettes?
No. Weed. I
Oh,
smoke cigarettes. I
okay.
still smoke cigarettes,
Hmm.
but weed, no.
Okay.
I stopped with that.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So basically, you're being like really empathic, and you can connect to people and literally like be like a sponge to suck up all their emotions or whatever they're feeling, huh?
Yeah, pretty much it. Yeah. I've always been like that. Like, for example, the homeless people. I don't know why, but I have a thing with homeless people. Like, I see them on the streets. I can't do nothing. It's weird. We don't even need to talk. Like, I look, not everyone, but I look at them and I can feel like their thing, you know. And it's like sometimes I prefer like giving them everything I have, even though if that means like I'll stay with nothing. I don't know. I'll be happy with that. It's yeah. I'm like that pretty much.
Yeah. And other things
So
like
yeah.
you've also mentioned in the email that like you became like really like lost the motivation and the energy and like feeling drained and different things like that. Uh, would that be the thing that you would like to address in the session?
Oh yeah. That's also one. Yeah, it started coming. So yeah, that's also one thing. Like for example, music. I've always done music. I don't know. It's my way like to not kind of express myself. Like it's more like I'm sharing a feeling. It's something like that. When I make music, I'm sharing a feeling
Yeah.
with someone. Okay, and. Well, yeah, when I started using heroin, I completely stopped it. I couldn't do anymore. And now most recently I started like trying to do it. I have like an awesome idea. This happens to me a lot actually. I have like an awesome idea or a thought, and then the moment I'm going to do it, it's like or it vanishes or like my mind starts like to think all those weird things like I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do it. Yeah, and like I just can't do it anymore. It's weird. Like I can't even produce music, which I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And do you have any visuals? Like if you were to close your eyes, do you see anything?
No, that's why I stopped smoking because I when I was researching about it, they say like smoking can affect that. So I immediately stopped smoking. But yeah, I still can't do that. Also, yeah, the first time I felt my astral body, I only made it one time. Right? All those next times, I go to bed, I try to relax and everything, but it's like when I close my eyes, it's like I feel like there's someone watching me, and I can almost visualize them watching me.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling I have. Okay, and yeah, I can't do it anymore. Actually, yesterday I tried it again. I was feeling like someone's watching me, but I was like, okay, don't think about it and everything. But yeah, it's like all of a sudden, like a sound like this, like a keep on the wall or on the floor. It happens all the time. Yeah, it's always happening. And that goosebump feeling, that thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. So I guess like in our session, like we can like look at around the energy, like if there's any entities or beings like suppressing you, and like if we can like prevent all this like empathy like to not affect you in a bad way, so that you wouldn't like suck up too much negativity and stuff like that. And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, my first thought, maybe you already know this about Akvile because you've talked before, but she's a lot like you, very empathic.
Yeah. I've understood that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe I've also. I don't know if it has anything to do with the sign. I'm a Cancer too. But
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also think about it. But yeah.
And the music too.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like that.
She's a musician. She plays music and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, cool.
that's good to know. So I'm gonna let you guys do that stuff you do. She's gonna tune in to your stuff,
Okay.
and we're gonna go with the energy drain thing and maybe the entity or
Yeah.
the sense of somebody watching them and stuff. All that.
Yeah.
Okay, and what I do while she's doing that is I guide her. Uh, I have a connection with her, and I can say that, and sometimes she'll take 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or a little longer. She'll look, and then she'll come back and report what
Okay.
she sees and experiences for you. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
And in
That's
the
cool.
process, if you have any feelings or if any thoughts pop up, feel free to share that, and like that might be on our lead and stuff. So we'll see.
Okay. Okay. Right now I'm feeling really anxious, but yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. Start. Yeah, that right there.
Hmm.
What happened?
I'm feeling something weird. It was really soft, but over here,
Behind
in
your
the
head.
back of my head.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, my heart is beating much faster. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm. Okay, right now I felt something really weird right here.
On earlobe. Okay.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. So I'm scanning and like sensing these entities that are like preventing you from communicating, but communicating not like verbally, but throughout expressing your feelings through music and like when you're creating music and you have all those ideas or you have like like notes in your head, it's like you can express yourself and a lot of beings either in the multiverse would understand you without ever like talking to you just by like seeing those notes and like getting that vibration. And so a lot of those beings like they're like actually not good for us. They're like sort of draining it or like trying to squeeze and like making sure like you cannot talk. So they like sort of uh, can't say like they're like consuming it or anything, but like so they're trying to delete it, suppress it, make sure like it doesn't have that vibration. And the idea is to like prevent you from communicating to the multiverse, because it's not just like people who talk verbally, but creating that music or like just being yourself and having all that like higher vibration gives you like more open channel to like bigger beings or like being yourself, and they don't want that, so like it's sort of like they're preventing you from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. What should I say?
Okay. When you are playing music or composing or considering music, do you Can you hear it playing in your head?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
That yeah, all the time. I don't know. I just do it. I'm always singing. It's like my thing. I'm always doing music.
Sure.
If I'm on the street walking all alone, it's my way. I don't know. I can be singing. I can be doing na 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 na.
That's
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
it's me.
Akvile too. She can hear it and play it in her head, record a song in her head, and just listen to the whole song, hear every word, and all.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I ask is because when a person does go out of body, depending on which realm or plane they can go into, they will go into these realms, and it's a sign that you're in a higher, better place. You will hear music in the environment. It's just part of the environment. But you can also think your music, and it'll play for everybody to hear. And so it's a way, it's a way, it's a world and a life. Some of us have come from there. And it's just, and I've met people who, when they talk, like you and I are talking, they will talk in song. They'll make up the lyrics, but they're having a conversation, but it's absolutely beautiful a cappella composed. It's just like, but they're just talking to you. It's just absolutely amazing. So there are worlds out there that, and she's saying that you're being cut off from those kind of wonderful places in the higher planes and spirit worlds. So that's what she's speaking.
Okay.
We're gonna do some work on getting that connection back here in a little bit, but you go ahead with whatever you think is the next.
Okay, so now like I can like track the beings and like remove them and see if there's like hierarchy or like more things going on, like like find out the backstory, like why they're doing it and like different things. And just like try to take care of it and like see what's next.
Yeah, because the way it works a lot of times is there'll be entities or beings that are messing with you, but they are hierarchy. They got their bosses, and their bosses have bosses. It's very military-like, and they're usually working on a program or something. So she's going to check that out and not just get rid of the entities that are here now, but their bosses or their bosses' bosses, and track the whole programming back. That's one of the things she does. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, start. Do you feel something there?
Yeah, that is constant right here, but it's less. I don't know how to explain it. I'm having all these weird thoughts right now. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Okay, I'm feeling. I felt like a tick on the leg.
A what?
On like something like a small touch, like on the leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on my left leg. It was.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, like interesting concept. Basically, like I'm looking at your ability to create music is like you can imagine like a video game where it's based on music. So every single note is like creates an effect, right? Like sort of like a Be the Hazard or something like it. You probably heard of it. So with the similar concept, you are the creator of the galaxies, and basically, if there's a realm, and all of your notes, whenever you're creating music in your head, is creating the world. Like you have drums or guitar or something else, and every single note and sound will like a mountain pops up or a building or some other things, and you just create like fast, never-ending world. And with that, it's like creating home for other like beings, and like they see it as like a safe place to go to, like no one can enter, no one can be there, and a lot of beings will go to the place that you create with your music. So you don't even need to get out of body, you need to do lots of things. Just simply like creating music in your head like keeps building the world for all these beings that want to be there. And with all that, like there's a lot of other like darker like forces. They're like, hey, we're losing our slaves, we're losing like beings like that we're supposed to like entrap, and they don't like it, so they're targeting you. So they cannot like harm you in like physical way or other things, but what they're trying to do is like have the anti-clusters that would like basically like nanoparticles or whatever, and they're like like little ants or whatever, and they like keep crawling on you and building up a place where like they will try to suppress the feeling. They will like you can create the music, but the moment it's time to express it or like write it down and like start creating it, they're like trying to make sure like they can mute it or like just take it out and making sure like you cannot keep producing content because that's too dangerous and like sort of they're just like trying to take all your abilities, your feelings for it, like your passion, and that's the thing I'm sensing so far.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. And should I do something to that it doesn't happen?
Yeah, like I can track like specific beings that are like doing this whole thing and like take care of them, like remove them, making sure like they're stopping, they're not stopping you anymore, and go from there. And
Yeah.
do you have any thoughts on this whole
Uh,
subject?
no, that's I was going to say the same thing. Once we kind of get the story of what's going on, then we do the work to remove the entities, track them down, see what they have in common with you, why they're doing what they're doing. Do they have bosses? Sometimes they're in clusters, so then she can track that down, and then she can look at agreements, soul contract agreements that were made with some of these other entities, accidentally or on purpose, eyes wide open or deceptive practices. But anyway, she can. That'll be the second step, so we can start moving into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and I wanted to ask before we get started.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You was having some weird, strange thoughts or something? Can you remember them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just it was popping in my head. It was weird. It was just like, don't say that. Don't do this. Don't do this. Why are you doing this? Something like this.
Uh huh.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah, they will they'll get in there and they'll put thoughts in their head to resist this kind of work. They would definitely do that. That's a thing they do, and there can be even talking to Akvile while she's in your space, and they're going, don't do this, don't do this. You know, they're going, hey, don't shoo us away, don't get us out of here. You know, this is to the entities, right? And the entities can be talking and having thoughts in your space, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Or, you know, it could be you. You're going, oh no.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because I really wanted to do this. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's probably on that.
Okay.
Okay. So she's going to go to work. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No. Yeah.
Did you hear?
The goosebumps.
Did you feel or experience something just about the same time?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, it was like kind of dizzy.
Yeah. It's
I felt like kind of dizzy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting
Like
over
all of a
here.
sudden.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no. Tell me.
Yeah, I
I
was
just
saying.
said all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking at the same time. But yeah, a sense of release I was sensing about the same time you were experiencing, and that's the same. That phenomena is oftentimes it's a release, energy releasing stuff, and the dizzy
Yeah.
too. It's you get real lightheaded. Stuff just leaves your space, and you kind of go,
Yeah. It was exactly that.
yeah, you're doing a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt the thing. I felt the same tick on the leg. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
On the left leg.
Uh-huh. Good. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, I was like started looking for like entities and beings that are messing with you, and the first one I noticed like reminded me of like vampires just because of the way like it worked. Um, they're targeting you like trying to suck out your energy, making sure like you're not energetic, you don't have enough feeling states that are like good for you, and like sort of making all like numb or whatever, like just really quieting it down. And I was like looking for them, and it's as if like awareness is like light, and like vampires can't handle the light. So like I look at them and they start like dissipating, like disappearing. So that was like the first thing, and then I was like tracking like who's connected to them, and I find this like sort of it's like AI. It has like like these and like entities like grunts that are like gonna come over like get close to your body or be in your surroundings, and the idea is like redirecting your attention. If you have a thought, if you have music in your head, if you have different things going on, uh, they can't allow you to like make it public, or they're stopping you from producing it, or like really writing it fully. So you might have a great idea, it starts like really good, and the moment you get to it, this AI will make sure like these little minions can come over, and it's like reprogramming. It's like you're connected to the cloud, and you feel it. You sit down, disappears, and they're like uh, killing the thought, making sure your attention goes elsewhere. There's like lots of different things going on, and like they're like literally trying to distract you. So I took care of the AI and little grunts, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay, it's really funny that we talk about vampires because, like a month ago, it was when I started. How can I say this? Well, me being like that guy and empathic, okay, like I feel a lot of the things that people feel, and it's funny that you said it about the vampires because a month ago it was when I started to think about it. Like I'm always thinking like there's lots of people that's like vampires of energy. I'm always thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to stop like seeing those people. Like I know I'm trying to do the good, but they are always like grabbing and grabbing and grabbing and grabbing. It's never going to end. So yeah. Wow, vampire. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I feel I don't know. I'm feeling like a little bit relieved right now.
Good.
Much less anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if you could check about like the soul contracts too, and maybe the starseed thing. I had a lot of curiosity about that. Yeah, I'm always thinking about that.
yeah, we'll do the soul contracts and that.
Yeah.
But just before we do that, uh, this idea of energy cords that beings hook into each other, and sometimes they're wholesome in their communication channels, but sometimes energy vampires will use these to suck the energy out of us. And
Yeah.
when you were going like they're pulling, 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 Akvile, could you look into that
Yeah.
and see if they are doing exactly that
Yeah.
to?
Because that happens to me a lot. Let me just explain. I have, for example, my grandmother. I see a lot my grandmother. She's 86 years old, so she's pretty old, and she's actually a bit like that. But I know it's not. She doesn't mean to do it. So yeah. But I said it to her like not. I wasn't trying to be mean, but I said it kind of a bit like that, like grandma, you need to stop being like this. Like you're like an energy vampire, you know. Like you're always like grabbing, grabbing, grabbing. I don't know how to stop it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
really interesting.
Okay.
Right.
So we can look into that. Eh?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Start.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like focusing on these entities that are like sucking out your energy and like pulling it as well. And it's an interesting concept. Like reminds me of those like corals in the ocean. Like whenever like those little bitty things and they get into the one big cluster, and we can imagine like a whale like swallowing like millions of them. So it's like that. Like those are these little beings that make up one bigger like energy vampire. Except there's like lots of them making up one. So like some of the big ones, and basically they use the little ones to like okay, like go to the people close to you. It can be like your relatives, your friends, just people like close to your surroundings. Doesn't matter who they are, but
It's
like
precisely that. It's precisely that.
yeah. And it seems like like everyone around you is being targeted. Like they're being just like oh, if you're gonna interact with someone, then that person will have these like clusters coming in, and the person might be okay. It's just that that cluster that's with them will be using the person next to you to drain your energy. Uh, so I got rid of the entities, and another thing like to check out is like like whatever we mentioned previously. And another thing I want to check is like your soul fragments, like the getting back all the energy that they've sucked out from you, like getting it back to you, and any kind of else like anything that they've removed, I want to get it back to you. So that's gonna be next, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like just as a metaphor, these small entities that make up a big one. It's like a swarm of hornets, the swarm itself is one entity. It kind of thinks alike and it moves alike. But you might have a few hornets themselves going out on a mission to find a target, but then it communicates back to the group entity, and then that entity is like a swarm, but they're looking for a target, a tool, or a vessel to suck your energy. So it's kind of like a mixing metaphors here, but it would be like the bad guys have a nuclear submarine, but these guys have a nuclear submarine, and these guys are the other side. It's a different person or different entity, different country, but you have a third party that is going to use this nuclear sub to take a shot at this other country or entity. So these two countries aren't at war. They don't have an issue. They're just kind of, got a relationship. You and your grandmother, for example. But these entities out here will be targeting this country or this individual, using another individual. So it's like the swarm comes out, finds the nuclear sub, takes control over it, and uses its nukes to take a shot. And the other, they go, hey, well, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. No, they didn't. They get hijacked. It's kind of rough metaphors, but does it make any sense to you?
No, yeah, it does. It actually does, because I talk about my grandmother because it's the person most near to me, most close to me right now. But that precisely happened with my ex-girlfriend. It happened with my mother. It happened with my brother. It happened with everyone I had near to me. Not immediately, but it happened eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can see it precisely that. Yeah.
Okay, so now you're going to go after look at some agreements made, soul contracts?
Yeah, I can get rid of all the agreements that I find connected to it, and also if any of the energy that was sucked out from you, everything that was taken, I'll get back to you so that it would refill you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Cool.
That. Mm-hmm.
I'm finding I just found mentioning, but it's as if they're using you, or there's some agreement like literally being a shield for the humanity, so everyone can target you, and it doesn't matter who it is, even the strangers close to you, it's as if you will automatically start sucking up the bad from them, their entities or their agreements or whatever, to protect them. And it's if it's your nature, but at the same time it's an agreement that's gonna basically limit you. So even if you don't want to, you're being that good person who's gonna become the shield for the humanity, and you'll be taking all the damage. And they're oh, hey, let's target that guy more. So
okay, let me see if I understand it right. Let's say there's a person walking down the street and they've got some negative energy.
Yeah.
And he'll absorb that negative energy.
Yeah.
Okay, now, and he's protecting the person who they're walking down the street and they got negative energy. He's protecting them, that individual that's walking down the street.
Yeah.
By sucking up the negative energy that is being coming at that person on the street by some other outside forces. It's kind of like that, and so he's shielding or protecting or absorbing the pain of humanity as he's walking down the street.
Yeah.
Henry is doing that. You feel like you ever feel like you're doing that?
I do feel like I'm doing that. It's weird. Now that you're saying it, I can see that. Yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep working.
Okay, continue.
Another big one is just I'm looking at lots of agreements and getting rid of them, but the big one that stands out is as if the feeling that you have to give it all away. So it doesn't matter what you have, the energy or any kind of kindness or anything. It's as if it's not nature to give it all away to others because for whatever. It's another one of those bigger agreements, I think.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot.
And here's one of the bigger connections that cause or allow entities to affect us is there's something in common. The entity and the individual has something in common. And
Mm.
here you've got this part of you that's a very loving, giving individual, and you want to give
Right.
your energy. Well, guess what? They want
Yeah.
to take it. So that's you have that commonality with certain kinds of energy vampires, and they'll just, he said, and they'll take it. So it's not that you don't you want to. It's not that you want to stop being a loving, giving person, but just being aware of this phenomena alone will cause them to back off. And then Akvile is doing some work to get them out of your space. And so to reestablish new agreements or parameters would be that you willingly but consciously and knowingly give your loving energy to those you choose to give it to, but it's not there to be taken by anybody or anything. Kind of
Yeah.
adopt a new attitude sort of thing, consciously.
Yeah. 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 I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go right here.
Can I just?
You certainly can.
Can you the starseed thing? Did you see it? Did you not see it? Are you? Can you see it? Because I'm saying this because when I saw the video, I cried a lot, and then I started researching about it. I saw like tarot videos on the internet and all that, and I saw 5 videos like you need to choose a card, and the card will say if you are a starseed or not. And the 5 times I've choose the card, I've chosen the starseed one. So yeah, I really started like okay, it must be it. It must be it. So yeah, I'd like to check that if it's possible.
Yeah.
She's got something to say, but may I say first?
Uh,
No, you go right ahead. You go.
no.
No.
Yeah. I'll get to it. Like first, I'll revoke the agreements and get back your energy. And once that work is done, and we got plenty of work to like help you out more, then I'll find more information about like you being the starseed and connections to past lives and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Alright.
Okay, stop.
Okay, so I'm almost done with the agreements, and it seems like another few things that like stood out to me is like it seems like whatever you have, you have to give it away, and you cannot have for a long time. So it goes to everything, like your energy, your love, whatever, and even to music. Like you have the idea, like oh, you have it in your head, and you had it, and you have to give it away. So like it dissipates, like it just disappears and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll get you the agreements, get back your energy, and we can look on the RCs.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm done with the relocation process, and the agreements are like gone. And I think like I'll start like getting back your missing soul fragments and energy and different things. So since I'll be working on this, like you can like try to be allowing for those things to come back. I can like sort of open the door for that thing, and I'll work more.
Yeah. So as you do this, Henrik, how do you say your name exactly? Henrik or Enrik or Henri?
I say it Enrique, but you can say that.
Enrique.
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 Yeah, Enrique. Enrique. It can be Eric, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enrique. Gotcha. Okay. So as she does this part, and you be open to this, being an empath, put a broader sphere of energy or idea of shielding, protection, and it only allows the good, wholesome, loving energies in. And of course, it can let you can allow your good, wholesome, loving energies to go out too. So as you're open to your energies coming back, see what has happened is as you fight this in the spiritual world or the paranormal and the subconscious realms, dealing with these attacks and these energy vampires, they are stealing energy away from you, but you're also using up your energies just to protect yourself. So it's like your resources, you're undoing this. You don't need this machine anymore, so you can take the machine apart, and you've got all these resources from the machine. It's kind of like that, but spirit and your life energy, as she spots it and gathers it and brings it back to you, she's unmocking that machinery, and that energy, your life energy, can start coming back to you. So you can be open for that. and come in through your heart chakra area where you got the shield.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Start.
Okay. Yeah. So I was getting your missing soul aspects back, like everything that was taken away from you, and it seems like with the energy that you have and the kind of being you are, it's as if like I'm getting your energy back, and it's like a waterfall. It just keeps on coming and never ending. And I realized that previously it was sort of like upside down, and now if your energy was taken away like a waterfall, it just keeps on flowing to the opposite direction. So like I got the process not like back to normal where you get it all as much as you need, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So the next thing is to take you to check out like what kind of starseed you are and like the connections in past lives, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will be cool.
All right.
I'm feeling much happier, which is weird. I don't know. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. So like if we were to put a label, it seems like that's what they call like those indigo and crystal kids, and you've had some like
Yeah,
past
I
lives.
knew it. I knew it was it. Okay.
Yeah.
I already knew it. Yeah. Tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like some of the past lives had connections with the Arcturians and Pleiadians, but you're like more of a healer. It's as if like right now you're working with music because it's your thing, and it seems like it's like really your thing is like vibrational. Like like they have this like sound healing thing, like like where they call specific vibration.
Tibetan bells.
Yeah,
Tibetan bowls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like something similar. And for you, like, you could like heal everything. Like the planets, if they were like devastated, all you have to do, like, is like put your hand on the ground, and it causes a specific vibration that like starts restoring everything. Same with people, if they have diseases or something else like going on with them, you put your hand on them and like cause a specific vibration in the system that like stabilizes everything. Like so, you would be like healing like planets, people, animals, like and going from place to place to place, and working on some like big projects. Like so, like it's quite a thing.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. A star seed from like the Arcturian
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which one?
Arcturians.
Mm-hmm.
Arcturians.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a book on the shelf here. It's called We the Arcturians, and they've actually been in contact with people here. And this one lady wrote a book on these Arcturians. It's called We the Arcturians by Barbara Marciniak. Marci.
Marcr.
Yeah, I can type it. We can type
Yeah,
it.
we can type in Skype.
I'll probably find it just right with this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Barbara
Marciniak. Barbara Marciniak.
Marciniak.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's this guy right here. It's probably a mirror image, but yeah, it's a real good book, and the lady has had hundreds and hundreds of hours of channelings with these guys, and they're describing their ship and their mission here and their technology, and there's good guys and bad guys in every star system, right? Well,
Yeah.
these are the good guy Arcturians, and so you might want to. You can grab this book up and might give you some insights into that if you're interested in that sort of thing.
I will. I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm feeling so much better. It's weird. For real. I really am. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, that's great.
It's kind of relief. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I thank you a lot, you two guys, for what you do. Mainly your YouTube channel and your too. Yeah, I think it's really important, even if it's a few people, you're making like a change, and that's important.
Well,
I really
hey,
feel.
it makes it worth it meeting people like you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel the same about you guys, for real. I really feel, yeah. Yeah. What can I say? I have no words right now.